Yikes! Yet another harebrained business idea from the Duchess of Sussex. She wants to get into hospitality. Would you eat at a Meghan Markle restaurant or, wait for it, stay overnight in a Meghan Markle motel? I'll be dealing with the deluded Duchess in no uncertain terms in just a moment. But first, revenge is a dish best served cold. Now, the fearless King Charles, who, let's not forget, is still bravely battling cancer, has pressed the nuclear button and granted Prince Harry's arch nemesis, soccer icon David Beckham, a knighthood. Now, this is huge. The timing of this bold move could not be more brutal, because the bottom line is that the Cold War between the Markles of Montecito and Britain's second royal family, the Beckhams, has heated up, which is why this move from Charles is so significant. So what's happening? Well, he is, let's not forget, the King of the United Kingdom, one of the most significant public figures on planet Earth. And he's using his considerable power to shame and embarrass his disloyal son, the prodigal prince, Prince Harry. This decision to grant David Beckham the knighthood at this stage is an absolutely unapologetic message from the king towards his own son. He's flexing his muscles. He's showing some strength, because the bottom line is that King Charles does have a quiet strength. It's not an extravagant bravado, but the guy does have a silent power. He's influential. He's a strong character. He's been through so much in his life, and he's been king in waiting for decades and decades and decades. And now he's enjoying it. He's enjoying the good offices of being king, because it can allow him to grant someone like David Beckham a knighthood, which is going to be very awkward for Harry, for the H-bomb, for my husband. So why is he doing it? Well, it's very simple. As the Mark Dolan show has clearly demonstrated over many weeks now, there are two camps at play here. You have Team Wales and Team Sussex. And David Beckham, who, once again, let me just reiterate, essentially is the head of England's second royal family. The Beckhams are massive. They have the money, they have the influence, they have the fame, they have the class. The Beckhams are England's second royal family. And David Beckham is now firmly in Team Wales. Let's have a look at who's in Team Wales. We've got Charles and Camilla as the head of Team Wales. You've got William and Catherine, Princess Anne, the Beckhams, Jeremy Clarkson, and yes, Mark Dolan from the Mark Dolan show, firmly and unapologetically in Team Wales. And I always will be. Now, the Sussexes made a calculated effort to freeze David Beckham out. This was after crazy allegations that Victoria Beckham, his wife, had been leaking stories about Meghan Markle to the press. So big falling out between the Sussexes and the Beckhams. And what does King Charles do? At that moment of huge acrimony and bitterness, King Charles gives the same man who the Markles hate. They detest David Beckham, which is why they've supported his disloyal runaway son, Brooklyn Beckham, which I'll come to in a moment. The Sussexes detest the Beckhams, and they detest David Beckham, which is why it's the delicious irony. And it is sweet revenge for the king to, at that very moment, grant David Beckham the highest honour in the land, Sir David Beckham. So let me bring you the background on what happened between the Beckham and the Sussexes. They used to be very close. Victoria is a very generous person, and she shared her incredibly valuable contacts book, her address book, with Meghan when Meghan came to the UK. Introduced her to people within fashion, advised her what to wear, introduced her to celebrities. It was an open door into the UK entertainment elite, courtesy of Victoria Beckham, one of the Spice Girls. Do you want to be my lover or want to be my best friend? Friendship lasts forever. Not quite across the Spice Girls back catalogue, I can't lie. But massive band. So Victoria is a significant person, helps Meghan Markle. Meanwhile, David supported Harry's charitable causes like Invictus. Don't forget, David Beckham, one of the most famous and charismatic men in the world. Charismatic, incredibly good-looking guy. and achieved so much in business, in entertainment, and of course, in professional sport. Beckham is a genius. So his face on a project gives you so much publicity and so much kudos. And so Harry benefited from having David at Invictus. This is before Invictus became an incredibly boring vehicle just for Harry and Meghan. With Meghan going to the Invictus Games and walking ahead of all these injured servicemen and women with her able-bodied body, walking down the street in an incredibly provocative white trouser suit. Like, hey, look at my brilliant working body. Ooh, isn't everything perfect for me? I'm very able-bodied. I am Little Miss Perfect. As she strode along, there was this parade for the Invictus Games, and there she was in her white suit, leading the pack. Who's she to lead a bunch of injured service personnel who have been fighting for Western values? Quite shocking. And of course, Harry has ruined Invictus with his tedious, rather moany speeches at the beginning of each Games, ranting and raving about the state of the world. So what happened is that they had a hideous falling out. So David as Beckham has helped Harry with his charity stuff. Victoria introduced Meghan to the social scene. And they had a big falling out because the Sussexes falsely accused Victoria Beckham of leaking stories about them to the press. Do me a favour. Do you honestly think Victoria Beckham, do you want to be my lover? Victoria Beckham has sold, are you ready for it? Are you ready for this? Victoria Beckham has sold 100 million records. 100 million records. How many people have sold 100 million records? Victoria Beckham's done it because she's, unlike Meghan Markle, a woman of considerable talent, of natural beauty, of drive and determination, a business brain. She's a fashion icon. And she's a major recording artist. Biggest girl band in the history of planet Earth. And Victoria is one part of that. Sold 100 million records. International fashion brand worth the brand itself is worth $100 million. She herself, alongside David, they are worth $800 million. In about 5 minutes' time, with the stock market on our side, they'll be worth $1 billion. The Beckhams will be the Beckham billionaires in just a matter of time. Give it a year or two, they will be billionaires. So why are you telling me that Victoria Beckham, with her 100 million records, her global fame, her fashion empire, and her enormous bank balance, which is about to hit $1 billion, are you telling me that she's got time to go on her smartphone and leak stories about Meghan Markle, a bit part actress from a mediocre legal drama called Suits? Do me a favour. If you think that's true, you're living on another planet. It's also come to my attention that Meghan wanted free Victoria Beckham clothes because Meghan loves a freebie. They went to Disneyland for Lily's 4th birthday, which became a branding event, which was obscene, unethical, and wrong. And they clearly didn't pay for the tickets for Disneyland because she thanked Disneyland afterwards, which is, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And she was looking for free Victoria Beckham clothes. I mean, you are an actress. You've got a few quid in the bank. You're about to marry a prince, the man who is the son of the future King of England. This is back in 2018. Do you not think you could afford to buy a dress yourself? Does everything have to be free? Anyway, luckily the palace vetoed Meghan's request for free Victoria Beckham clobber, but apparently that placed strain on the relationship. Well, I'll tell you the main reason why the Beckhams, who are Britain's second royal family, are the Beckhams. I'll tell you why they fell out. Why Harry and Meghan have fallen out with David and Victoria. Abject jealousy. That's all it is. Pure jealousy. Because look at David Beckham's career. He's won 13 league titles in soccer across 4 countries, including England, Spain, France, and the United States. The guy is, he's one of the greatest sportsmen ever to stride this globe. 150 times he's played for his country with incredible distinction. Net worth, like I mentioned, $800 million. Okay. This guy, when he retired from football, his first year, his income in his first retirement year, you and I retire and we make approximately $11, don't we, in a year. Once you retire, normal people, the money stops. But David's income in his first retirement year was $75 million. So he gives up his job. He retires and stops his job, which is being a soccer player. And as a retired man, his first year of income is $75 million. How is it possible? Even Tom Cruise, if Tom Cruise gave up acting, he couldn't make $75 million in his first retirement year of not making movies. He signed a lifetime Adidas deal worth $160 million. One deal, $160 million. I mean, just wild. And he has a major stake in Inter Miami, a very successful US soccer team. His stake is worth $312 million. He makes $42 million a year on endorsements. Adidas, Armani, PepsiCo, and Gillette. It's quite extraordinary. They've got homes in London, Los Angeles, Miami, France, Dubai, and an art collection valued at over $40 million. But it's so brilliant that King Charles has flexed his muscles. He's like, do you know what? I'm king, and I'm going to exercise my powers. And I will make David Beckham a knight. And that will really, really annoy my prodigal prince son, Prince Harry. Charles is not stupid. Not only is he a man of deep moral virtue, intellect, and caliber, he's a toughie. He's a fighter. Charles is, but like I said, he does it elegantly. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay? He is a steel fist in an iron glove. He is a steel fist in an iron glove. The man has a quiet power. And he's using it. He's using it to humiliate his son, to send Harry a clear message. Now, we talked about Team Sussex and Team Wales. There's an absolutely foolish idiot called Brooklyn Beckham, who is the eldest son of David and Victoria. And he's dumped his own family, exactly like Harry did with the Mountbatten Windsors. Brooklyn Beckham, privileged young man, born a millionaire thanks to his industrious and enterprising parents. He ran off to California and he had a heart-to-heart dinner with the Markles, with Harry and Meghan, my husband. And this was they were attending. There's a big Hollywood producer. They went to this party. It wasn't actually at their Montecito mansion. It was round at someone else's place. But apparently, the Markles and Brooklyn Beckham and his wife Nicola Peltz, who is a billionairess, what happened is they hit it off. So you've got a boy in Brooklyn who's run away from his family, upsetting David by completely not being there for his 50th birthday celebrations. And by the way, Brooklyn didn't even post a message to his grandfather, Tony, on his birthday. All right. So this boy has gone AWOL. Why has he gone AWOL? Well, because he married a very ambitious, potentially quite manipulative young woman, Nicola Peltz, whose father is worth billions. His father is a big American investor, a billionaire himself, and he's called Nelson Peltz. And one of the many things that he owns is a chunk of Wendy Burger. He owns Wendy Burger, which of course is one of the favorite outlets of Prince Harry. Harry loves Wendy Burger because he's such a miserable person, but he takes succor from their juicy sandwiches. And Meghan revealed in a podcast recently that she very often gets a takeout. And it's the understanding of the Mark Dolan show, that they go to the Wendy Burger because Harry loves the Wendy Burger, partly because the icon of the Wendy Burger brand is a red-headed lady, and he's a red himself, isn't he? He's a ginger, prize ginger numpty. He's a ginger numpty. That's what he is. He's going nowhere fast. What a silly boy. So, this boy, Brooklyn, has been disloyal to his family, ignored his dad's 50th birthday celebrations. And now Harry and Meghan are like, oh, we're going to love bomb you. So they've been terribly nice to Brooklyn, enabling his behavior towards David and Victoria. Absolutely cruel. So that's why it's war. That is why the two parties now, the Beckhams and the Markles of Montecito, are not talking. And they never will. But David's had the upper hand because now David is going to be Sir David Beckham. He'll be knighted by the king. And David, by the way, incredibly close, not just to King Charles and Queen Camilla, but very, very close indeed to Prince William. They are as thick as thieves. They've got so much in common. Of course, William, a big soccer fan. And David has given all his time and energy to causes which are the great passion project of both King Charles and William. So it's a beautiful thing. And I'm so happy to see the King subtly connect Prince Harry with reality and to show Prince Harry the consequences of his actions. And this will continue. And we know, don't we, that it's going to get a whole lot worse when Prince William becomes King of the United Kingdom. It's gonna go apocalyptic. And I can't wait. Bring popcorn. Speaking of apocalyptic, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, my husband, Meghan Markle has applied to trademark As Ever, which is, of course, her crumbling entrepreneurial brand. She has trademarked As Ever for hospitality services, which allows her to open hotels, restaurants, food and drink provision, and temporary lodging. So the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, is going to have a new chain of hotels. It's going to be the new Hilton, the new Holiday Inn, the new Marriott. Can you believe it? We'll all be staying at the Meghan Markle motel. So you've got food and drink. So first of all, restaurant chain. She is positioning herself to be the new Gordon Ramsay. And she wants to have a chain of restaurants. But that's what this move tells us. That she's got the ability to enter hospitality, even though she hasn't got a hospitable bone in her body because she's a hostile individual. When her TV show With Love Meghan happened, she was quite aggressive, certainly passive aggressive with her so-called best friends, including Mindy Mailing, a wonderful comedy actress and producer and writer. Mindy Mailing said, "Oh, it's so wonderful to be working with Meghan Markle." Flash of rage in Meghan's eyes. "Didn't you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore? I'm not Meghan Markle anymore. I'm Meghan Sussex." Bit the woman's head off. It was excruciating. So she's not hospitable. She's hostile. So this restaurant will be a very unfriendly, uncomfortable place if it contains her DNA, her spirit, whatever that might be. And also, the restaurant won't be safe. Okay, I think the chances of getting food poisoning at, let's call it Meghan's Diner. Hi, welcome to Meghan's Diner. So I think the food will be unsafe because I've watched Meghan cooking and she spills food on the floor. She drops stuff. The milk overflows onto the hob. It's chaotic. It's pure chaos. She doesn't know what she's doing. She can't cook to save her life, which is why the family are regulars at the Wendy Burger, and understandably so. So I don't think the food will be safe. And I think that if you go to the Meghan Diner, welcome to the Meghan Diner. I think that people will be coming out, and I don't wish to be impolite because many of you will be having your breakfast, lunch or dinner, but I think she may well perform vomitation. They will. They'll be vomiting out of that restaurant. There'll be a queue for the bathrooms of people revisiting the meal that they've just had because I don't think it'll be safe. She can't cook. I don't know if the food will be fresh, but she can't cook it. If she's involved in that kitchen, beware. It's gastroenteritis central is what I would say. And also hygiene. How clean will that food be? I've watched her making the jam. I wouldn't buy the jam because I would imagine her jam has got locks of her hair in it and a few of her eyelashes. She's sort of, over the hob, getting her jam ready, making my little jam. Whereas sort of, whilst that's happening, she's shedding skin into the mix and just bits of detritus, really. I thought that TV show was an absolute horror show, and I thought that the cooking standards were horrific, okay? And therefore, I don't think the food will be healthy, hygienic, or clean. And then, of course, she'll be serving her flour sprinkles, won't she? There'll be flour sprinkles with every dish. It will be jam and flour sprinkles. That'll be pizza with jam and flour sprinkles. Sirloin steak with jam and flour sprinkles. Pasta al pesto with jam and flour sprinkles. Lasagna with jam and flour sprinkles. Listen, I'm worried about those flour sprinkles, okay? I think they're actually illegal in some states in America. I really do, because I think that those flour sprinkles are hallucinogenic, okay? I think they're toxic, and people aren't supposed to eat flowers. But it will be a central theme. Those disgusting flour sprinkles will be a central theme. How much of the food, by the way, will just be taken out of one packet and put in another, and you pay $20 for the privilege? Because that's what she did on her TV show. She bought stuff from the supermarket, took it out of the packet, put it into another bag, and just wrote what it was on there, like, you know, new pretzels, Meghan special pretzels. So I wonder how much of it won't even be fresh made. And also, hospitality involves employing a lot of people. Will Meghan hold on to any staff, like waiting staff? You know, those servers, they'll be in and out the door like that. And chefs and all the rest of it, because she'll be running in there going, "Where's the flour sprinkles on my steak? You forgot the flour sprinkles! We gotta have flour sprinkles!" And the chef would be like, "I'm sorry, Mrs. Markle, but I don't really want to use flour sprinkles because I'm a professional chef, and it's my view that these flour sprinkles are hallucinogenic, toxic, and people aren't supposed to eat flowers." Bang! She'll fire them. So is she going to hang on to any staff? Hospitality is already a high turnover staff business. Meghan and Harry have got through 18 staff members since they gave up their royal duties. So I don't think that she'll hang on to her team, especially when she's sending the chef and various waiting staff emails at 5 a.m, which is, of course, a Meghan thing. She's famous for that. Also, I mean, the only positive of the Meghan diner will be the vegetables, which, as we know, she picks those from her Montecito garden. Montecito! And we know that she picks them herself, and that all of the vegetables from her garden come out of the soil 100% clean and perfect, and everything's in season on the same day in early June. It's just a miracle. I don't know. She has almost Jesus-like powers, you know, with the kind of turning water into wine. Well, Meghan can turn seasonal vegetables into a daily offering whenever she wants it. Perfectly sparkling clean. So the vegetable will be great. I wonder, the decor of the motel, Meghan, not the motel, we'll get to the motel in a second. The decor of the Meghan diner, right? Meghan's diner is, what will the decor be? Well, I think it'll just be pictures of Lily and Archie, because she loves to advertise them. So there'll just be pictures of Lily and Archie everywhere, because she wants them to be even more famous and wants to invade their privacy. It's amazing. Harry can't stand the paparazzi because he thinks they're responsible for the passing of his mother, Diana. He's probably right. And yet you got Meghan Markle is someone who paps her own kids, is what she does. She paps her own kids. And she'll probably do that in the restaurant. Pictures of the kids everywhere. So, and by the way, she won't have many customers. Harry won't go because Harry prefers the Wendy Burger. He'll hit the Wendy Burger and he will order His Highness's famous order from the Wendy Burger, which the Mark Dolan show can exclusively reveal Harry's order. And it's called His Highness's order. And it's a Baconator combo, which is burger, fries, drink, and bacon, $12.39. The Baconator. 10-piece spicy chicken nuggets, $5.19. And a chocolate frosty size medium at $2.89. The total cost of that, $20.47 for a delicious, healthy, nutritious meal from Wendy Burger. No flour sprinkles, no jam, no food poisoning, no annoying pictures of Archie and Lily everywhere, no getting yelled at by Meghan Markle for calling her Meghan Markle and not Meghan Sussex. So that's where Harry will be. She'll open her restaurant chain and Harry will be at the Wendy Burgers enjoying a bit of rare pleasure in his life. And what about the Hotel Markle? Let me know in the comments, would you stay in a hotel owned by Meghan Markle? I guess for alliteration purposes, it would be the Motel Markle, which I know sounds a little low rent, but then that's Meghan for you. So would you stay in the Motel Markle where you can You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. So first of all, it'd be very uncomfortable in the Meghan Markle hotel because you'd have these lavender towels. Do you remember on the TV show, she makes the towels wet with lavender water. So you'd have these heavy soaking wet towels, which is useless when you want to take a shower because the towel's already wet. You probably get an allergic reaction from the lavender, which is inflammatory. And every room, it'll be based on their Montecito mansion, won't it? So every room at the Motel Markle will have 16 bathrooms because that is their unique selling point. No one knows why. And you'll have a terrible night's sleep because you'll be kept awake by the sound of Harry in the next room crying himself to sleep about his terrible life. Humpy dumpy dumpy dum. Poor Prince Harry, world's least happy millionaire. Humpy dumpy dumpy dum. But let me tell you that Meghan is planning for life outside of Prince Harry. She's using him as the host cell. She's using him as the Trojan horse. He is a device by which she becomes rich and famous and has a powerful platform. So she's got her social media. So she's now using Lily and Archie to sell her brand, to sell her identity altogether. You know, Meghan sees those kids as her kids, and they are now for sale to the highest bidder. That's where we're at. She's massively stepped up her social media. She's got around 3.7 million followers on Instagram, and her goal will be 5 million, then 10 million, then 100 million followers. And it future-proofs her life after Harry when he has ceased to be of use to her. And so that's what's happening. That's why we're talking about a hotel chain. That's why we're talking about restaurants. That's why we're talking about bringing back the jam. That's why you're going to have a fashion line potentially. All of it is so that she can have a future long beyond Harry. That is quite clear. And she will be successful at that. She does talk a lot of nonsense, by the way. She was talking about her As Ever brand. She said, As Ever is more than a brand. Well, it's a brand. It can't be more than a brand. I mean, a chair isn't more than a chair, Meghan. She said, As Ever is more than a brand. It's a love language. What does that mean? For the love of goodness, what is a love language? Make it make sense. As Ever is more than a brand. It is a love language. Don't talk to me about love, Meghan. Not when the man that brought you into this world, Thomas Markle, has been horribly gaslit by you and cut out of your life to the extent where he will never meet his grandchildren, and he lives in the Philippines. He's in the Philippines. He's in the Philippines in a high-rise, which is overlooking a 7-lane highway. That poor man. I doubt the apartment's got air conditioning. He's just in bed, sweating his knackers off, watching old videos of Meghan in suits, crying himself to sleep to the sound of very noisy, environmentally unfriendly cars flying along the freeway. So don't talk to me about a love language. That really sticks in the craw. It's obscene that she would sort of essentially claim to know anything about love. It's quite the opposite from her. So that's Meghan. I'll finish on this, which is quite a development. And it's my understanding that Meghan Markle had trouble getting people to be on season 2 of her terrible TV show, With Love, Meghan. And it was reported by the brilliant Kinsey Schofield, whose show I highly recommend, on the excellent Maureen Callahan podcast, which I also highly recommend. And they were talking about how hard it is for Meghan to get celebrities to come on her show because all the celebrities have given up on her. And she was turned down by Dolly Parton, which we mentioned in the previous show. And she was turned down by Beyonce. The only person she's got is an American model, cookbook author, and TV host called Chrissy Teigen, whose main claim to fame is that she's married to someone successful, which is musician John Legend. Now, in 2021, Chrissy Teigen, it turns out, right, not a very nice person, was exposed for sending vicious messages to multiple celebrities, most infamously telling the then 16-year-old Courtney Stodden to go to sleep forever and expressing that she couldn't wait for them to die. Other resurfaced tweets included mocking Lindsay Lohan's self-harm, calling a 9-year-old actor cocky, and insulting Farrah Abraham's appearance. The fallout was swift. Macy's, Bloomingdale's, and Target, who are all top stores in the United States, dropped her cookware line. Her TV deals collapsed, and her reputation as Twitter's clapback queen was shattered, exposing her as a longtime social media bully hiding behind a relatable persona. Does that sound familiar to you? I mean, seriously, her and Meghan will be two peas in a pod. But that's the only person that Meghan, according to my sources and those of Kinsey Schofield and Maureen Callahan, that's the only name she's got for season 2 of With Love Meghan, is a proven bully who lost all her TV deals. With friends like that, who needs enemies? Folks, it's been brilliant to talk. Can't wait for tomorrow's video. Please, if you get a chance, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and then you'll get told when the videos are coming, because I'll be doing some extra videos soon, surprise bonus videos. And also, please like the channel. It gets it to more people. And I cannot wait to see you for the next one. Stay awesome. Big love. Bye for now.